in Soweto rather. The former head of the Hawks in KwaZulu-Natal, Johan Booysen, will be taking the stand against suspended Deputy National Director of Public Prosecutions, Nomgcobo Jiba, at the Mokgoro Commission today. The commission, instituted by President Cyril Ramaphosa, was investigating Jiba and Advocate Lawrence Mrwebi's fitness to hold office. For what we can expect, we now cross live to our reporter, Sipho Stuurman, who has been covering the story for us since it started. Sipho, a very good morning to you. Another week at the commission. Johan Booysen is on the stand today. Tell us what's the significance of his testimony today.
Well, a very good morning to you and our viewers at home. Johan Booysen, of course, faced those racketeering charges that were authorized by Advocate Jiba, which were then overturned by the Durban High Court. It had found that Jiba had not enough evidence to institute those charges, and as a result, she faced fraud and perjury charges. So definitely, Johan Booysen's testimony is going to speak a lot to this. Of course, this entire inquiry is looking into Jiba's fitness to hold office, and part of the reason that we have this inquiry is, of course, the authorization of those charges by Jiba. So certainly it's a significant witness that we're going to have here. But to just get a bit of a clear picture about the rest of the week, I am joined by the spokesperson of the inquiry, Nomgcobo. Thank you very much. Today we're expecting Johan Booysen. Talk to us about the rest of the week.
Yes, we are expecting Johan Booysen, and of course he will drill down, as you said earlier, to the finer detail of the workings of specific cases as they relate again to the terms of reference. But we also have to wrap up the two other witnesses that we had started with last week, and that would be Colonel Kobus Rulofse as well as Hofmeyer.
All right, yes, and you're speaking about there's a bit of a backlog. Some witnesses have not finished their testimony. Speak to us about this. Do you just touch on them right now?
Yes, of course. These two witnesses could not finish because of the timing. Remember, we hold 10 to 4 as in the court hours, and due to, based on the length of the leading of the evidence, it took time, and of course the cross-examination needed to be done twice based on the Advocate Jiba as well as Advocate Mrwebi's legal representative.
Now, Hofmeyer is one of those that have not finished. Hofmeyer, of course, is the deputy head of the NPA, who was giving, of course, his testimony here. Also just his testimony really spoke a lot about political interference within the NPA, and it was quite a lengthy testimony here. And as she mentions that the cross-examination took a bit long, and he has not yet finished.
He has not yet finished, and we expect the legal representatives of Advocate Jiba as well as Advocate Mrwebi to now start to take him on those issues that he said in his evidence, as well as when he was being led by the evidence leader, and to also then test some of those allegations that he has made in his affidavit, and make sure that now we get to a clearer picture of whether or not these two advocates are fit to hold office or not.
All right, now let's talk about in week 2, of course, that is the evidence leader, Advocate Bauer, informed this inquiry that she had made a request to former Bosasa CEO Agrees to come and appear. What's the update on that one?
The update on that one is that we've had to now refine our letter. Remember, we don't have subpoena powers, so we invite witnesses, potential witnesses. And in our second letter, we then explained that we just need specifics as they relate to these two advocates, as well, related, of course, based on the allegations that were put forward at the Zondo Commission.
So has Agrees replied to indicate if he will honor the invitation to come appear before this inquiry?
Not yet, and we live in hope. We have been wary of confirming witnesses as and when, because some of them would pull out at the last minute, but we continue to engage with them as and when they need any clarification from us. And then once they have confirmed and said, yes, we are ready, then we can say, okay, now so-and-so will be taking the witness stand.
And just finally, again, you mentioned that some witnesses pull out at the last minute, and there has been some sort of issues in terms of confirming witnesses. Is there resistance from witnesses to come to this inquiry?
Not really resistance, because resistance can only come if we have subpoena powers. We invite. So when you invite, and remember this is an inquiry, we are asking questions, therefore our powers are quite limited. So we invite someone, they look at our invitation and say, oh, okay, do I want to get involved in this process or not? And then, as is their right, of course, they will say yes or no.
All right, thank you very much. That is Nomgcobo, the spokesperson of the Mokgoro Inquiry into fitness to hold office of those senior NPA advocates Jiba and Lawrence Mrwebi. Today, of course, as you mentioned there in your intro, we're expecting Johan Booysen, who is the former boss of the Hawks in KZN. He had a number of run-ins with Jiba, so his testimony will be quite interesting.
Thank you so much. The Sipho Stuurman is keeping tabs for us at the Mokgoro Inquiry. Hope to speak to you again later, Sipho.